You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Lone Star College Football. Today, we're going to jump into the transfer portal. It's been just a couple days since the regular season ended, and there's already so much going on in Austin. Before we do that, do us a favor and like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 100. We're at 92. We really want to get to 100 before the end of the season. And then in the offseason, we're going to be hitting y'all up with hype videos and recruiting, more transfer portal, just all the real good college football content. But today, we are going to be talking about the transfer portal in Austin. We've had 7 players already hit the portal for the Longhorns, who will be leaving our program most likely. And we've got 4 main targets that are in the portal from other schools that we are kind of looking at going after. We're going to start with the players that we have that are leaving. Some of these names, if you're a more casual Longhorn fan, you may not know. But if you've been following recruiting over the last few years, you probably will know all of these names. Starting off with the most common, Hudson Card, quarterback. This season, he went 75 for 928 yards, a 69.4% completion percentage, 14 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and 9 sacks. Hudson Card is a guy that I expected to hit the portal. He is a solid quarterback. He's not a game breaker. He's probably not gonna go anywhere and be in Heisman contention next year, but he is a good enough quarterback to play college football. He's more than capable of going and doing so. Right now, I think the talk is that he's been in contact with Notre Dame already, which would be good for him. You know, Hudson Card is a guy who's been a team player. He's rode the bench. He's been called upon, and when he's been called upon, he has come in and done what we needed him to do for the University of Texas. So with all that being said, for Hudson Card and anybody on this list, I wish the best of luck. And I think he can have success somewhere. The second name is a guy that, man, when he first hit campus, we all kind of thought he was going to be something really special. And that's Troy O'Meary. And this season, he had 1 catch for 9 yards. For those of you who don't know, Troy O'Meary, as a true freshman, in the offseason was looking like a stud. Like, honestly, we were seeing all these highlight tapes from spring ball and summer practice, and he looked like he's going to be really good. Unfortunately, he tore his ACL before his true freshman season, and he really has not been able to come back full swing since. And so, you know, with him, I always assumed it was just that injury that was keeping him off the field. Maybe there's something else behind the scenes that's playing a factor in that, and he wants to change the scenery, which might be good for him. So best of luck to him. Third, we have offensive line / jumbo tight end Andre Carrig. He's an offensive lineman, but this year I don't know as if I really saw him at O-line often. We'd bring him in as a big tight end to come block on short yardage distance. He never got the ball. It wasn't like a tight end run where you give the big guy the ball. It was just go out there. You're big. You're putting another offensive lineman at tight end. So it's like having 6. It is having 6 offensive linemen out there. So he's hitting the portal, which is good because, once again, he's not a game breaker at offensive lineman, but he is good enough to play. And it just so happens that we've had some really good recruiting at the O-line position, and it's kind of put him back on the depth chart. So next, we have an edge / linebacker position with Prince Dorba. Him and the next guy are both edge and linebackers, and these are the ones where we've been lacking the linebacker position for a while, and it seems like this season we've kind of had some depth. And then now we've got DeMarvion Overshown, who's leaving for the NFL. We've got Anthony Cook, who's been like a nickel linebacker. So he's a DB who plays down like a linebacker. He's leaving, I would assume. And we have Jalen Ford, who's a junior, but the season he just got named Big 12 Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, I believe. I don't know why he would come back. And so it's like we're losing three linebackers. So I don't know why we have linebackers transferring out when it seems like there's about to be roster spots available. But Prince Dorba this season, he had 3 solo tackles, 4 assisted tackles, which is a total of 7 tackles. No passes defended, no interceptions, no forced fumbles, no fumble recovery, anything like that. Just those stats. He didn't play much last year, and so he wants to leave. And I get that, but it seems like you're at a position of need. I expect Texas to target linebackers in the portal, so I don't really understand why you're leaving. Next edge linebacker is DJ Harris. He had 1 assisted tackle, and that was his 1 total tackle for the year. No other stats. Prince Dorba, I can vaguely remember him on the field for a couple plays. I don't remember DJ Harris on the field at all, so I don't blame him for leaving. I'm not entirely sure what class they are. I think Dorba's sophomore. I don't know about Harris. DB JD Coffee. 3 solo tackles, 3 assisted tackles, 6 total tackles. Him and the next guy, another DB, Jameer Johnson, 4 solo, 4 total, 1 pass defended. I don't know why you're leaving. Deshaun Jameson is leaving, so there's a starting position open. Now I get the fact that we have Ryan Watts, who is a starting corner, and then that he'll probably move to DB1, and then the other corner position will probably end up being Terrence Brooks. But at the same time, you've been on campus, you've been with their defensive coordinators with Pete Gwiatkowski and Gary Patterson, and so you've had experience, and we're getting more guys in. Yes, you may have been, 3rd or 4th or 5th string, but you're moving up a position. You're going to play more next year. And, if Ryan Watts has a great season this year, it'll be his junior season. He could leave. And then the next year, and I never criticize a player for hitting the portal. It's a business decision, and you've got to do what you've got to do. I get that. But I think there's also so much benefit in – what's a good example? This year, going into next season, Keelan Robinson is probably – I would assume him or Jonathan Brooks are going to be the starting running back. Well, they had to sit last year this current year, behind Bijan Robinson and Roschon. Why did Keelan even come to Texas knowing who we had? It's because you sit, you wait, you get your reps, and you do with your reps what you can do. And then when those guys move on, you're next in line. And I think that's probably where these guys were. So it does kind of suck to see them leave early, but at the same time, these are talented players. These are highly recruited, highly sought after players, and they're going to go somewhere and hopefully be really productive on the field for another team. So best of luck to all those guys. Now, those are the 7 people so far as of today that have hit the portal. And I'm going to get into the 4 guys that Texas is looking at. 2 of them are wide receivers. One of them from Oregon, Dante Thornton. He is 6'5", 199 pounds. I watched a little bit of tape on him, and he seems like, for a 6'5" guy, I mean, he's 199, so he's slim. He seems like he can move. On the tape that I watched, there was a couple of deep bombs they threw him, so you love to see that. If you're 6'5" and Quinn Ewers overthrows you next year, you've got the length to hopefully get under that, or at least, maybe dive or something. He had 17 receptions for 366 yards and 1 touchdown. And once again, he played at Oregon. He wasn't the starter, wasn't the number 1 guy. I think he was like number 3 or 4, maybe 5 on the receiving list. But he did seem like a guy who could step up and be beneficial for Texas. The next wide receiver is from Mizzou. His name is Dominique Lovett. I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. He's 5'10", 187. Now, he was actually more productive at Mizzou than Dante Thornton was. He had 56 receptions for 846 yards and 3 touchdowns. All but the touchdowns, if he was on Texas last year, he would have been our number 1 receiver as far as receptions and yards. So that could be a real good upgrade for us. He at 5'10", 187, he's probably a slot receiver unless he's, crazy fast, and they might put him outside. But really, I don't know what to take too much of us looking at two receivers right off the bat because of Xavier Worthy. Those of you who don't know, I do have a video. I'll link it down here at the corner at the end of the video. Xavier Worthy is rumored to go into the portal because he cleared his Instagram of all the Texas stuff. I will say, though, today he cleared his Instagram of everything and posted a picture of him wearing Texas Longhorn gloves, making a heart out of his hands. So, it's kind of one of those things. He might be trolling us. He might be trolling everybody. I don't know. Xavier Worthy he will be a highly sought after receiver if he does go to the portal. But what I think is more probably what's going on, I have no insider information, but what I think is most likely going on, I think Xavier Worthy will probably stick around Texas and see who do we bring in at the wideout position. And I say that because we have Isaiah Nayor, who transferred in last year from Wyoming to Texas, and he tore his ACL before the season. If Isaiah Nayor was on the field and it was Xavier Worthy, Isaiah Nayor, and Jordan Whittington, that was our 1-2-3, and JT Sanders at tight end, you would see every team we play would play different defense. Because when you've got Worthy and Whittington on the field, they're going to say, okay, most of our focus is Worthy, and then we have to give Whittington focus because he's solid. But then this third guy, who all season was a mix of, Casey Kane played a lot, Savion Red played a little, Brennan Thompson played a little. Both of those guys are true freshmen. Ajay Hall didn't play almost any. Troy O'Meary didn't play almost any. So most of our focus is Worthy. Some of our focus, you got to give him his credit, is Whittington. And then the third guy, we're not really worried about them. Put a linebacker over there. He'll do his thing. Those two guys can't get open. If Nayor was on the field, it'd be different because Nayor and Worthy are both studs. And you can't double team two people. You can't. There's just not enough people on the field. And so I wonder if maybe Worthy will stick around, see who do we seek after in the portal. If we get him some help, a guy like Lovett who had a ton, 850 yards, if we get a guy like him or a guy like Thornton who's 6'5", you cannot let that guy run loose, especially because Xavier Worthy's an outside receiver. You put Thornton on the other side at outside at 6'5", 199. Like if he's got a stride to him or any kind of speed, even if he's running a 4, even if he's running a 4.6, which nowadays is considered to not be extremely fast, but if he's running a 4.6 at 6'5", I mean that's dangerous. So we'll see. We'll see what Worthy does. We'll see how this receiver core can grow. And then the last two positions that we are looking at bringing in are defensive backs. So we have a Stanford DB, Jonathan McGill. He's a little undersized, kind of like Deshaun Jameson. He's 5'9", 183. He had 28 solo tackles, 23 assisted tackles for a total of 51. He had 1 sack, 7 passes defended, and an INT. I was not able to watch any film on him and see, is he a slot corner? Is he an outside? It just said DB. Honestly, I don't know if he's a safety. I don't know. But I know that our safety positions are really kind of shored up with, well, I say shored up. We've got Jaron Thompson for sure. The other one is Michael Taft, and I don't feel super confident about him. But I mean, those are pretty solid. He's got a sack, so that tells me he's fast. He's probably a slot guy if he has a sack. It takes a long time for an outside corner to get to the quarterback, but I could be wrong. The second DB is from Cincinnati, is JQ Hardaway, and he's 6'3", 200, and he didn't play as much. He only has 5 solos, 3 assists, and 8 total tackles with 1 sack. But I like 6'3", 200. He's probably a safety at that size, but if he's a corner and he's, if he's got his hips under him and he can move like a corner at 6'3", 200, he could be a pretty good, like Ryan Watts. Ryan Watts is big for a corner. He's like 6. I think Ryan Watts is 6'3" or so. And if he's able to be like that, it makes sense that we're targeting him after Kwiatkowski got Ryan Watts and saw what a big corner like that could do. With all that being said, once again, I do appreciate y'all watching. And so if y'all could just do us a favor, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Liking the video really helps the algorithm pick it up and push it out to more people. So just do that if you feel led to. But with that being said, appreciate y'all.